Fairfield Glade is an incredible community in Tennessee that a lot of people are moving to, and I'm going to take you around and show you all around the community today, show you what it's like to live here, what you have access to here. But it's located on the plateau in Tennessee, so it has a little bit of a higher elevation, absolutely beautiful setting. You get mountain views, you have some lakes up here, so you can get lake views. It's got 5 golf courses, it's got a lot of other really nice amenities, pickleball courts, tennis courts, indoor and outdoor pools, a medical facility, and even more than that. So I'm going to take you around, show you kind of what it all looks like and what you have access to here. This is one of the lakes, you have the mountain views, and then all the amenities. We're going to go take a look at all that. If you throughout this video are curious about what the fees are associated with all these different things, we have a PDF that breaks down all the fees for all the different amenities as well as the HOA fees. So if you want us to send you that, shoot us an email at the email address in the description below, and we'll get that sent over to you. As we show you around the community today, we're also going to talk about 4 pros and 2 cons to living in Fairfield Glade. So you're going to see a lot of really great aspects to it, but I'm also going to bring up those 2 cons. And so at the very end, I'll give you that second con, and it is the major reason why people tell us they end up not moving to Fairfield Glade, but end up choosing a different community. So it's really the #1 deal breaker for a lot of people. So there's so many amazing things about Fairfield, but make sure you stick around to the end to hear that last con. So pro #1 to living in Fairfield Glade is the golf courses. And this is one of the courses out here behind me. This one's called Stonehenge. This one is consistently rated as, one of the best courses in Tennessee. You'll see it on like top 10 lists and stuff like that. And so if you see Stonehenge on one of those, that's this Fairfield Glade course. But there are 5 courses in total here, and they're really all very nice courses. So you've got Stonehenge, you've got Druid Hills, Dorchester, and then you have Heatherhurst, which, you're like, oh, that's only 4 courses. Well, Heatherhurst actually has 2 complete 18-hole courses there. So that's where your 5 courses come in. So if you're somebody that is a big golfer, you like variety, you get access to all 5 of these courses here. They're all really nice courses. Now, as far as golf play throughout the year, one of the things that's really cool about Fairfield Glade is it sits up on the plateau, so higher up than a lot of the areas in Tennessee. So in the middle of the summer, when you're hitting 90 degrees, in Nashville and Knoxville, you're actually going to be a few degrees cooler typically up here. So you're going to be, July and August, which are some of the hottest months, still going to be a lot more pleasant to play golf when you're up here on the plateau in Fairfield Glade. And then as far as playing throughout the winter, you still have a lot of days in the middle of winter that are in the 50s that you're going to be able to get out and play. Now, they do close some of the courses at certain points throughout the winter, but you're still going to have access to get out and play. So the 5 golf courses here, plus just the quality of the courses that you have here, make that the #1 pro. It is one of the big draws for people moving to Fairfield Glade. They want to have access to those courses. So pro #2 to living in Fairfield Glade is all the amenities they have here. And, golf got kind of its own pro because it is the #1 thing here. It's the biggest deal. But there are a bunch of other really nice amenities that make Fairfield Glade a great place to live. So you have a medical center, you have a community center, you've got pickleball courts, tennis courts, indoor pools, outdoor pools, you even have a mini golf course, paved trails, unpaved walking trails. So a ton of different stuff. I'm actually going to take you around and show you all of it so you can kind of see what it looks like and see what it would really be like to be here and use a lot of this stuff. But this medical facility out here behind me is that medical facility that I mentioned, and it is a Covenant Health facility. So that's one of the medical groups. They have hospitals here in the Tennessee area and other medical facilities. So this is one of their facilities, and it is right here in Fairfield Glade. It has essentially primary care services. They also have physical therapy services. And so as part of that, this is also where the fitness facility for Fairfield Glade is located. So they have the physical therapy services, but they also have the fitness facility that you can just pay to use, for, if you want to just go get a workout in. And so that's where the fitness facility is located, as well as the medical services. Then up here you have the community center, and they use this center to facilitate community activities. They have space for that in here. They also have an indoor pool, and then they have a golf simulator as well. So you can go in there and use the golf simulator and get, practice on your game. So there's a lot of things in here. They've got Of course, the 5 golf courses, like we mentioned, all the driving ranges, the golf simulator. So a ton of golf focused type amenities here in Fairfield Glade. And by the way, as we're going through all these amenities and everything, if you want a PDF that gives you a full breakdown of all the fees associated with these, either the membership fees or just the, kind of pay as you go fees, send us an email. You can find our email address in the description below. So just shoot us an email and say that you want that breakdown of all the fees for Fairfield Glade, and we'll send that over to you. So this right here behind me is the racket facility. So you have tennis courts and pickleball courts inside this building, and then you have outdoor courts on either side. So, when it's cold or rainy, you got the indoor courts, and then of course, on nice days like today, you've got the outdoor courts. Ton of tennis and pickleball courts, and there's actually some other courts that are scattered throughout the community, but this is the main facility for that. Pickleball is a really big deal in Fairfield Glade. So as I already mentioned, golf is probably the number one draw. The 5 really nice golf courses, but pickleball is also a really big deal. A lot of competitions going on out here. So it's a really active community, and this facility right here is a big part of that. And then right across the street here is where you have this town center with just some office buildings. There's a restaurant in there. And then you actually have one of the churches across the street here. There are several other churches that are just scattered throughout the different neighborhoods in Fairfield Glade as well. And then if you hop on the main road, just right out here behind me, go just a couple minutes down the street and you can get to the grocery store. So you've got all this stuff right here in the community, and then the closest grocery store just a few minutes down the street as well. By the way, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Tennessee and everything about the communities, towns, and cities around the state, tap the subscribe button, hit the bell for notification, so you'll be the first to learn all about everything there is to know about living in Tennessee. One of the other features of Fairfield Glade is the lakes that they have here. And this is one of the lakes out here behind me. So you get a couple things with the lakes. One of the things you get is just incredible views if you live on the lake. So you've got homes that sit along these lakes and they just get really nice views out over the lakes. The other thing you get is you get to enjoy the lake from your boat. So there are 2 marinas here on 2 of the different lakes, and you can keep your boat here at the boat slip and then just get out and enjoy the lakes. Now, these lakes are really nice. They're absolutely beautiful, but this actually brings me to the first con that I wanted to mention. And that con is that these lakes are really pretty small and they are completely no wake zones. So, it's awesome that you have all these lakes here that are absolutely beautiful. But when a lot of people think of a lake, they think of getting out, doing water sports, and having access to just a really large lake. And these lakes, I mean, you can see to the other side over there, and that's essentially how big the lake is. So you don't really have access to being able to do water sports. Now, that being said, you can use it. Obviously, you see people out here on their pontoon boats. You can use it to get out and just enjoy a day on the lake, or you can also use it for fishing. Again, if you're wondering how much it costs to keep your boat at one of these boat slips, shoot us an email at the email in the description, and we'll send you over the PDF that has all those prices. Pro number 3 to living in Fairfield Glade is the cost of living, and this is a really big one, and there are several components that go into this that I want to talk about. And the number one component, well, there's really not a number one, but the first one I'm going to talk about is taxes. So you have no state income tax in Tennessee, which obviously is a big deal for a lot of people. And then you also have really low property tax in Tennessee, which is kind of a big deal for everybody. So if you look at a home around $500,000, you're probably going to be paying around $2,000 a year in property tax. So especially for people moving from some higher property tax states, that can be a big break right there. So you have the lower taxes, and then you also have fairly low cost for a home. So it is definitely going up in Tennessee, and some of the other areas, around Nashville and Knoxville are definitely going up quite a bit. In Fairfield Glade, they haven't gone up quite as much, and so the home values are still relatively low compared to where a lot of our clients are moving from. And then another aspect of it is the insurance cost. So if you look at some of the states where a lot of people are moving from, Florida is actually one of the number one states. The insurance cost compared to Florida is going to be significantly less. Even compared to somewhere like Texas, it's going to be a lot less. So you're saving on taxes, you're saving on insurance, potentially saving on, the mortgage or your home payment. And then Really, the last thing is the fees associated with living in Fairfield Glade. So, like I mentioned before, if you want to see a detailed breakdown of all the fees, shoot us an email at the email in the description. But just to give you an overall idea, you're going to be paying, depending on whether or not your property has sewer, you're going to be paying around $100 a month, maybe even a little bit less for your HOA fee. And then the other things that you want access to, you're going to pay for separately. So you want to play golf, you want to play pickleball, you want to go to the fitness center, any of that stuff you're going to pay for separately, but they're all reasonable. And, part of that is just due to the location, the overall lower cost of living in Tennessee. As I mentioned, a lot of people moving up from Florida, and I know a lot of the HOA fees and other fees can be pretty expensive down there. So just the location, the fees are lower than a lot of those communities. And then you also have the Wyndham Resort here, like I mentioned, that helps to kind of bring down those fees as well. So pro number three, low cost of living. And as you can see, there are a bunch of different aspects and factors that go into that really make it a significant difference for people moving from a lot of different areas around the country. Pro number four to living in Fairfield Glade is the availability of homes at pretty much all different price points. So you can find homes as low as 200,000 that are townhomes, and then you can find homes up to well over $1 million as well that are really nice, nice views, and really everything in between. So that's a huge pro because a lot of people are either looking to just save money and downsize, or maybe buy a second home, and you're not really looking to spend a ton of money, but you want to be in a really nice community with great amenities, and you can find that here. So on that lower end in the 200,000s, you're going to have those townhomes, and then really everything that is, 3, 4, 500,000, you're going to find some nice, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom kind of homes that are just on a normal lot, maybe a wooded backyard, have some nice privacy, but just your standard lot, standard, 1,500, 1,800 square foot home. And then you go up from there and you get some of the premium lots, which are really where a lot of the much more expensive homes are. But if you want to have one of those premium lots with a lake view, or you want to get kind of on the edge of the plateau where you can get that incredible mountain view, of course, you're going to end up paying for that view, but it is, absolutely beautiful. So if you want to get the view on the premium lot, there are plenty of options available for that. If you just want to have something that is a little bit more affordable, plenty of options for that as well. And then, of course, you have all the golf courses. So you have the opportunity to purchase a home on a golf course lot. You have the opportunity to be super convenient. If you're a golfer, just hop right out and get on the course. So there are just so many different options when you live here in Fairfield Glade. And that's just one of the pros of being here. Kind of whatever you're looking for as far as, type of home and type of lot, you're going to be able to find it here in Fairfield Glade. So if you are thinking about buying a home in Fairfield Glade and you want a real estate team that is going to have your back throughout the process, that knows the community and knows the market, feel free to reach out to us so we can help. We get calls and texts every single day from people just like you looking to make that move to Tennessee, and we absolutely love it. So, whether you are ready to make that move next week, or if you're kind of just starting to look at the process and have questions about it, we would love to connect. All our contact information is in the description below. You can shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom call with us. So all that information will be down in the description below, and we would love to connect. One of the other things that you have access to in Fairfield Glade that you have access to in a lot of communities, but Fairfield Glade has really done a much better job than most communities, is walking and hiking trails. So a lot of communities, you get some paved walking trails, you get some dirt hiking trails, but Fairfield Glade honestly just goes above and beyond with that. So this is just one of the hiking trails out here, and there are a handful of them, just miles and miles of really nice hiking. And it is, legitimate mountain hiking trails. You're up here on the plateau, and it's absolutely beautiful. You also have several miles of paved trails if you want to just get out on a greenway and go for a walk. But this is one of those things that is a little bit underemphasized sometimes, but I know it's actually really important to a lot of our clients. So this is one of those things that's not always like advertised and emphasized. but Fairfield Glade has done a great job with it. These trails are well kept up, and it's really something that I know is important to a lot of our clients, just being able to be active. And these are literally right here in the community. So wherever you live, you're going to have trails within just a couple minutes. There's a likelihood you're just going to be able to walk out your door and get to one. If not, you're going to just be able to come park in one of these parking lots just a couple minutes away from your house and have access to all these trails. These are widely used. They have different groups and different, hiking events and things like that. So they definitely get a lot of use. And for people that love to get out and hike, it is one of the things that really draws them to Fairfield Glade. So there's a few other features of Fairfield that I wanted to bring up here real quick. And one of those is the horse riding facility, and it's actually an area where you can board your horses as well. But for those that don't own horses, you can go and you can actually take horseback rides there. So that's really cool. We've actually had several clients that are into horseback riding, and even a couple that have owned horses. And so I know for some people, having that area where you can keep your horse or have access to riding is going to be really special and kind of unique. There's not a lot of communities that have that. So that's one of the other things that's really cool. Something else that Fairfield Glade has is it actually has a mini golf course or a putt-putt course. And, of course, it's got the 5 really nice golf courses, but then it's got that mini golf course. So that's pretty fun as well. A couple other things that it has that I know a lot of communities have, but some of them don't, is outdoor pools. So, of course, it's got the indoor pools, and really most communities will have an indoor pool as well, but there are outdoor pools here as well. So, kind of a lot of fun activities with the putt-putt, the horseback riding, the outdoor pools, really a ton of different stuff to do here. And then you also have access to restaurants. My favorite restaurant to come to when I'm up here is probably Stonehenge. So at the golf club there, you have Stonehenge Grill, and that's one that I always like to come to and eat at when I'm up in Fairfield. All right, so there's something kind of important that we have to talk about with Fairfield Glade, and that is this resort right here. This is a Wyndham resort. This is actually kind of like the main office for it, and then you have the actual facilities where people stay kind of scattered around through here. But this Wyndham resort is part of Fairfield Glade, and so people kind of sometimes have mixed feelings about having this resort in their community. I've actually heard people say that they like having people come in, they like having kind of the activity of people from the outside coming in and being in the community. I've heard people that don't like it, they don't want people coming in and bothering their community. The bottom line is these people are coming from around the country to play golf in Fairfield Glade. They're paying for it, they're bringing money to the community. And so this right here is actually one of the reasons why you can have such a nice community with such reasonably low fees. So whether or not you actually like having a resort in the community here, it does allow you to have a really nice community, really nice golf courses with lower fees. And really, when you're in the community, this is right here in the middle, but when you get out into the neighborhoods, really is not going to affect you at all. So that's just something that's important to keep in mind. You do have some people that don't like it, like I mentioned, but for the most part, it's really not going to affect you all that much. But it's something that you definitely need to be aware of if you're thinking about making the move to Fairfield Glade. So con number 2 to living in Fairfield Glade, and this is the big one that I promised I would tell you about at the end of the video, and that is the proximity to a major city. So you are over an hour away from either Knoxville or Nashville. The closest major shopping area is going to be in Knoxville, about an hour and 20 minutes away. So I'm talking things like Costco, Target, Whole Foods. That's all going to be about an hour and 20 minutes away. If you're somebody that is happy just to go to the grocery store and you don't care if you have all those other things nearby, then it really is not going to be a very big deal to you. You have a grocery store literally just a couple minutes down the road here. You have the small town of Crossville that has access to more stores and really everything that you need. But, if you want to be closer to an area with those other stores that I mentioned, and of course, Knoxville has a ton of other stuff as well, but those are kind of some of the highlights of things that people miss, Whole Foods, Costco, Target, those type stores. And so for a lot of people, that ends up being a deal breaker. We've seen a ton of different things that make Fairfield Glade honestly an incredible community to live in. But at the end of the day, that proximity to a major city sometimes ends up being a deal breaker for people. If that's not a major issue for you, then Fairfield Glade is honestly a great option. So hopefully this video has given you guys an idea for what it's like to live in Fairfield Glade, what the community is all about. If you are thinking about making a move here, feel free to shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, and we would love to connect with you and help you make that move to Fairfield Glade. Other than that, we will see you on the next video.